so today's community conversation was just not about how you transition, into phase 2 for COVID-19, but understanding that whether it's good or bad, whether you say yes or no, whether you go or you stay still, it causes a ripple effect in your life.
Good morning. It's Coffee and Community Conversation with PKO. I am your girl, and we are cool. Then you call me KO or PK. If we not, then we say PKO. I'm so excited to be here with you today. I'm just believing God. I'm believing for a good conversation with you men and women that are watching. If you are here and this is the first time you're jumping on, I want you to jump in the comment area and say what's good. What's good. I want you to jump on and say something. Happy Saturday to you, Cynthia, Olivia, Kim, Shaniqua, Angela Gaines, Teresa Hicks. Thank you guys for joining. Listen, if you are here, do me a favor. Why don't you share this out to somebody? We want them to come on in, right? Because I believe that that what we are sharing is supposed to impact nations, and it happens when you hit the share button. King Ziggy, thank you for joining. Look, today was a good day for me. I woke up this morning and God did a work, in me, in my heart. I was blessed by some powerful women, and I'm going to talk to you about that today, because today we're talking about friendships. We're talking about cultivating friendships. I'm going to show you how to classify the people in your life, right? How to look at their levels, and then I'm going to help you build a plan on the kind of friends that we know that we need in our life. Because how many of you know that sometimes you can be alone? When you're going through those things, you're looking for somebody to talk to. And when you look for somebody to talk to and you don't have anybody there, you begin to have a conversation with people that you wouldn't otherwise talk to. Is this for somebody today? You go and you speak to people and share all your business because you hurt. You're going through pain. You're going through a situation, and you don't have anybody else to share your life. And so you begin to share with people that you know you're not that cool with. Erica, good morning. Shirley Logan, good morning. Talitha, good morning. Thank you, King Ziggy. Darlene, Mama Darlene, thank you. Good morning. Look, thank you guys for jumping on for Coffee and Community Conversation. If you look behind me, look, I'm swinging away. I got all these blessings behind me. Some of the ladies from the masterclass, we went out to pray this morning and they blessed me with this picture of them. They signed it with some cool messages, and they gave me a basket of goodies, including my Kingdom Builder shirts. I'm so excited. I feel so honored by the opportunity to be able to pour into people. So honored that they responded to what God put in me to share with them, and His purpose and destiny on the inside of them. God is going to use them to impact nations. I also have another gift behind me over here that was given to me by one of the ladies early on that I forgot to share. But listen, when you have good people in your life, right? It does something to you. It's not about giving, but it's about a divine exchange. There's something more tangible things that take place when you have the right people in your life. Are you ready for this morning? Are you ready to talk about friends? And so look, we're kicking off with community kickoff question. The community kickoff question is, can men and women be friends? This question is coming from somebody local. Her name is Marianne. She was like, I want to know if men and women can just be friends. Come on, y'all. Sound in, can men and women just be friends? Do you have male friends in your life? Or if you are a male and you're watching, do you have female friends in your life? Can men and women be friends? I'm not going to give my response because I don't want to say what you say, but come on and answer the question. You are the community, right? And so can men and women be friends? Alfred Jr. is up here. Y'all remember he came through right after the George Floyd incident and talked about what it meant to be a black man in that environment. He is here. Alfred said yes, right? Thank you, Alfred. King Ziggy said yes. Look, y'all, the men is talking. right? I need the women to say something. Christy said yes, if it's honestly a friendship. That's right. If it's honestly a friendship, we can talk about what it looks like, you know, extending beyond that friendship. But I'm happy you say that, because that's one of the things I want to talk about today is classifying friendships on levels. And so I have male friends. Dawn said yes, as long as they don't cross boundaries. That's right. And how many of you know, watch this, it's easy to cross the boundary in the right situation at the wrong time, right? When you go through something and you have this male friend in your life, right, and he's supporting you and encouraging you, your emotions can get tied up if you're already in an emotional state. And sometimes as women, right, we become attracted to the person that we confide in if they're in the opposite sex, and we don't have that boundary line, right? Or we're not careful to classify our feelings and our emotions because of what we're going through. And so it's important. If it's honestly a friendship, yes, men and women can be friends. Come on, y'all, and give me some thumbs up and some hearts for that question that was sent in by Marianne locally from here, from Wilmington, North Carolina. So let's look at what friends are. The dictionary says that friends are a person whom one knows and with whom one has a bond of mutual affections, typically exclusive of sexual or family relations. We just said it. If it's honestly friends, it's not friends with benefits. That's that we're not cool in person, and then behind the scenes, we're doing something we shouldn't do because we're not even married and all that other stuff. And I'm not going to go down that hole. I'm going to throw up Alfred's comments. Alfred said, how did they come into your life? How is the friendship built? Can your partner be comfortable with your friendship? Do you have boundaries and contact limitations set? That is so good. Ziggy said a good reference is Jonathan and David. Absolutely. That's a dynamic reference, right? And then Alfred jumped back and it says those need to be assessed from the jump. Absolutely. I want to thank y'all for engaging this morning. I am excited. So look, now that we find what a friend is, let's look, how do we develop meaningful relationships, friendships with people? We have to look at the levels we have. And the levels that we have are, we have circles, we have corners, we have sides, we have clouds, and we have crews. Come on, somebody, that was good already. I said we have circles, corners, sides, crews, and clouds. And we have people classified in each one of those areas. And so if you're in my circle, which is my cloud, that means that you can pray for me, but you may not play with me. Oh, my goodness. That means that I can call you to pray, but I may not be able to be myself in front of you because you have restrictions because of your of a level of religion in your life. And listen, I love the Lord. I am a believer, but there's some Christian folks that you can't have fun with. Anybody know some of those people? Some Christian folks, you can't just, we can't laugh. We can't talk about things that we used to do back in the days, because you're limited in your language with them because of where they are. And so you have a cloud, and these are people that you can tap in to pray for you. And then you have your corner. Watch this. They support you even if they don't see you, right? And you can call after 2 weeks and weep and not wonder if they're still there for you. These are people that you may not see all the time, but if you call them, they're going to be there. If you have something, they'll show their support, even if it's not in person, by way of conversation, or by way of encouragement. And so that's your corner people. Corner people are people that will always ride with you if you need them. The people that you expect to show up in your life. And so those are corner people. And then you have side people. Side people walk with you. They war with you. They weep with you, even if you're wrong. Listen to what I'm saying. These are the folks that, you could be dead wrong in the middle of the conversation, and they standing next to you, shaking their head, saying, yeah. So they walk with you, war with you, and weep with you, even if you're wrong. These are people that look, if I mess up, they still want to support me because they understand I'm still human. If I do something outside of my character because something happened, they're easy to forgive me. I don't have to posture myself to be somebody that I'm not, right? I can be who I am, and they're going to still have my side. And then it's your crew. Your crew is the Fantastic Four. That means that you can call them to pray for you. They support you if they don't see you. They're going to walk with you and war with you, even if you're wrong. They will have your back, even when you feel like your back is broken. That's the people that should be in your crew. These are people that's going to do all those things we just discussed. And even when your back feels broken, they're going to have your back for you. When you can't do it, they're going to push you to do it. When you are discouraged, they're going to push you and remind you that you have destiny on you. When you're making big decisions in your life, they're not going to tell you all the wrong reasons. They're going to tell you to look at the situation and present to you some of the right reasons, but be honest in the conversation. So ask yourself, before I even go further, what levels of friends do you have in your life? Do you have people in your clouds, in your corner, on your side, or are they all four? They are in your crew. Who am I talking to today? How can you classify the folks in your life? Because when you classify them, you you know where they stand, you know what kind of conversation you can have with them, and you know what information, right, that you can share with them. You know what insight you can introduce them to because of where they are. And based on where they are determines what they can handle. This is so good today. And we're talking about friendships, right? Alfred said, stomps feet. Yes, thank you so much. And now that we've classified, we have to construct friendships. How do we construct friendships? Look, you have to prepare for what you're planning for. You have to prepare for where you want to put them. Foundational to what you do is how you design. Once you classify the level you want a person to live in your life, right? Are they constituents or confidants, or are they comrades? It'll help you determine what you present to them and how you communicate and cultivate the connection. Do you tell them some things but not those things, right? Are you looking for somebody that you can just laugh with, or someone you can lean in and learn from, right? Or are you looking for someone who will push you even when the paradigm of your patterns you are operating in say that you don't want to be pushed at all, right? So who do you want this person to be in your life? And once you determine who you want that person to be in your life, you communicate, right? That means you do more than just have conversation. You have meaningful connection, right? And you just don't have meaningful connection. You present experiential opportunities where you can engage, and then you cultivate the connection of what you implemented. Any questions? Are you still with me? We are talking about friendship today. Sis, I'm so glad you were in my life. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you were in mine. Look, Alfred, I'm going to step away. I mentioned you the other day. I was speaking and somebody asked me how I met George Taylor, and I told them it was from Alfred. He was my first banker when I came here. And listen, I gotta break y'all because I feel like I have to share this. Alfred White is the one that introduced me to George Taylor. Most of you know that after 12 years of being an entrepreneur, I fell in love with the contract I had with True Colors that George Taylor owns. Today I'm their EVP of HR. It has changed my life. The dynamic of what I'm experiencing with the things that I've been able to cultivate and communicate to the team and create, in our community has sent me on platforms that I knew that I didn't qualify for. And so, Alfred, I say thank you for being my friend, for keeping me on your heart, and for making that divine connection that changed my life. Sir, I owe you and your fiance dinner and probably a trip, right? And so listen. Who are the friends that you have in your life? Are you communicating? Are you cultivating? And are you making meaningful connections? And sometimes when we build in friendships, look, we look outside, but look, I'm about to tell you something. We have to look inside for insight and instruction. We have to define in ourselves if we're prepared for this level of friendship in our life. Because how many of you know that we hinder ourselves by opportunities because of past experiences that we face? We've had friends that have hurt us, friends that have mishandled us, and friends that kept saying how, and never told us that we could. And because we have friends that we've experienced that in our life, it makes it difficult for us to be fully present when we're trying to cultivate something brand new that's been presented to us, right? I want people in my circle. I want people in my cloud, right? I want people part of my crew. I want somebody by my side. But watch this. I don't know how to cultivate the relationship properly because of the past pain that I experienced. I can't cultivate it properly because of the past pain of my experience. I defined what I need, what I want. I've classified it. I defined my level, and I even put together a plan. And now I'm in this construction process where I know that I want a confidant. I want somebody I can lean in and laugh with. Somebody that can pray with me and play with me, because look, I'm turned up. I am crazy. I love the Lord, but I like to have fun. And so how do I communicate that? And how do I cultivate the connection, especially when my mouth has been hindered by my past experience? And so I miss moments, right? Because I don't want to mention what I went through. And so watch this. I'm going to take you somewhere. So now what I begin to learn is when I'm developing new friendships in my life, I've classified their level and I want to cultivate it. I take time to make sure there's nothing in me that's going to hinder or hurt or halt what I'm trying to fine tune. Wow. I look at those things. Is there something in me that's going to hinder or halt, right? What I'm trying trying to develop in this relationship with this individual. And if I say yes, then I go back and I ask myself, how can I get over these situations? But if I say no, I continue to cultivate. And I cultivate with things like patience, right? I posture myself to be respectful and to be fully present when you're a friend. That means I'm there for you. I'm not just there for you during the bad times, during the good times. I'm there for you during the bad times. I'm there when you're brave and when you're broken. I'm there when you're broke, busted, and disgusted, and when you're balling out. I'm there for you whenever you need me. And we have to stop classifying friendships by seasons. I'm talking real good today. We have to stop classifying relationships by seasons. We're good when it's good, but when it's not great, you can't find me. And so we have to make sure that we're there, whether you broke or you're balling, whether you're crying, whether you're hurt, right? You're halted, or whether you're forging forward, right? Whether you have your fight, right? Or whether you feel like you are finished. We have to make sure that we are present in those areas of our life. We can't classify friendships by seasons, but watch this, by substance. If you're watching, somebody write substance. Somebody write substance. Substance. We classify friendship by substance. By substance, what is included in the substance? What is included in the measure of what I'm pouring in? Remember, a substance is a kind of matter with uniform properties. And so the substance are the things that I put in. Right? And so what does a person of substance mean? A person of substance has influence. They have this level of power, right? Despite being humble, right? They have influence. They have something on the inside of them. And so when you put in substance in a friendship, you put in your influence, right? Your influence goes into a relationship. I'm about to teach y'all something. I'm gonna fly through this door. This is so good. You put your influence in the relationship. And so we think that we come in as people. We think that we come in as planning and partying and having fun. But what I'm really doing is that I'm putting in my substance in the relationship. I'm adding my influence. My influence comes with the things that I say. It comes with the things that I do. It comes with my actions and my assignments. It comes with who you see and the alter ego that I may have. It's my influence, the substance I bring to the relationship. And it's important that we cultivate the right relationships and understand the levels that we want these people in our life, because the wrong influence to the right influence to the wrong person may not end up right. What do you mean? I mean, we can want somebody to be a confidant for us and to be in the level where they're in the circle. But if their mind is not right and they haven't cultivated themselves, then their influence can influence a decision that we make because of what they said. Because when you engage in a relationship in certain levels, there's no longer a door that blocks that person from getting in. There is a free way in. And so there's trust. There's trust. There's trust. And when there is trust, right, you can experience trauma, tragedy, or tenacity in relationships with people. That means that what you say can traumatize me because it hurts me. It can be a tragedy. It can break me in the area or make me feel like I'm not complete, or it can boost my tenacity. If you are my friend, you are at my crew level, and you tell me that I can keep going, how many of you know and will agree that something rises on the inside of you because the friend at this level in your life leans in and says something and you believe them because there's no longer a door blocking them from getting into your house, and so you just believed what they said. Influence. And so what we understand now is when we're developing friendships, we're not just developing people that can do things, but we're developing people that can add details to the designs in our life. Because God is the master architect, right? And we are his design. And so they can add details to our design by what they say, where they are, and who else they are connected with. Wow. Is this good or what, y'all? Is this good or what? So look, I want you guys to start asking questions about friends. And so how do you become a substance person? How do you become a person of substance, right? Look, how do you do that, right? And so look, I told you, you communicate, you cultivate, and then you continue to connect, right? And look, Be curious, right? Always ask questions. You need to dig into the details when it comes into your relationships that you have with people, because sometimes a conversation can convey the wrong thing. So you are curious, you dig into the details, but be present. That means don't show up and not be fully there. Be fully engaged, right, in the experience in itself, because remember, you're leaning in and you're giving something that is going to influence somebody's life and vice versa, right? Y'all agree with me? Yes? I'm trying to pace myself because I'm so excited. I don't want to start sweating and preaching up here. Oh my goodness. Are y'all still with me? Mm-hmm. That's right. And so now we see friends at these levels. Okay, I got a friend in my circle in cloud. I got a friend, right? I got a friend that's a part of my circle in my cloud. I got a friend that's in my corner. I got a friend that's on my side. And then if you are part of the Fantastic Four, you are a part of my crew. I can pray with you and play with you. They'll support you even if they don't see you. They'll walk with you, war with you, and weep with you even if you're wrong, right? They are part of my Fantastic Four. Even when my back feels broken, I know that they have my back, right? And so these are the people that I want in my life. These are the relationships I want to cultivate. I want to cultivate people in my life that will push me even when the paradigm of my pattern says that I don't want to be pushed. Push me anyway. And so what we learn today is that when we have friends in our life and they're on levels, they're not just bringing stuff, they're bringing influence. And their influence is not about things. Their influence is about how they influence us. This is so good. This is so good. So how do you build friendships? I told you, I'm repeating, communicate, cultivate, connect, right? Listen. Somebody say, I got to listen sometimes. Listen. Don't listen to what just people are saying. Listen to what they're not saying. Sometimes silence holds a deep conversation that we need to lean in and ask more questions about. You ever had some friends in your life who just went radio silent and you knew that there was something wrong? And so sometimes we wait to hear what people are releasing out of their mouth, that sound. But how do you know? How many of you know that there's two different types? There's three different types of frequency. One level of sound you can hear with your ear, it's audible. Another level of sound is not detectable by the ear. It is silence. And so when somebody's not speaking, they're still releasing the sounds. My God, they're still releasing the sounds out of their mouth. So what are they not saying, right? What are you missing, in this engagement, in this exchange, in this relationship? So you listen, right? Not just to what they're saying, but what they're not saying, right? And look, you tell your friends how you feel, right? You keep it 100. Somebody throw up the 100 symbol. You keep it 100. What that means? In Brooklyn, you don't have time to play with people. If we not cool, we just not cool. But if we are, and something's happening in our relationship, you tell them how you feel. I'm friends with Angela C. Gray. I don't know if she's up here, but we keep it real with each other. You need friends in your life that's going to be honest. Somebody say, I need you to be honest with me. I need you to be honest with me. Remember, those are people who will weep with you when you're wounded, or people that will war with you even if you're wrong. Right? These are the friends that we want in our life, right? Come on, somebody. And so you tell them how you feel. And look, be willing to make a tough call. Be willing to make a tough call. And what does that mean? That means me coming to you saying, Charlisa or Shaniqua or Teresa or Christy, hey sis, I saw you doing this, and look, you can't, it's just not right. I think that you need to fix it. I love you, right? But I think that you need to fix it. You do it with honor. You do it behind closed doors, and you don't present the problem to the public. Oh my goodness. Did you hear me? You don't present your problems to the public, right? You do it behind closed doors, right? Because remember, when something is under construction, right, there's a covering. You ever seen a construction site where they covered it with signs of what's coming, right? You see a picture of what it's supposed to look like, but you can't go inside because they're still inside, and the contractors, the subcontractors, the plumbers, and the electricians are behind there, and they're building. It's the same thing in your friendships. What people see is what you present. That's the covering, right, that's surrounding the construction zone, because we're building relationships. But what's happening on the inside shouldn't be privy to everybody's information. And so you speak to them, but you keep it private. Don't present your problems in the public. My goodness gracious. My goodness gracious. You don't present your problems to the public. How can I make a good friend? You keep it real, keep it honest, keep your secrets, be loyal, be willing to work through conflict, be willing to keep their secrets. And those things will classify the level that they're on. If you're not part of my crew, I'm not going to really tell you any secrets anyway, unless you may be in that circle, in that side moment, right? These are people that are going to pray, but they're not going to play, right? And so you release to people based on the level that they're on. We have to begin to compartmentalize our life, or we're going to continue to complain about the people we bring in that we have a hard time sending out. My pastor said something. He said it's always easy putting somebody in position. It's hard to get them out of position. And it's the reality. When you bring in a friend in your life and you give them the wrong classification, it can cause conflict. You can't communicate it, right? It can cause a catastrophe. I said something for all of you that are watching. I said, when you bring in the wrong people in your life and you classify them in the wrong area on the wrong level, it can cause conflict. And when you can't communicate it, it can cause a catastrophe in your life. So you release based on the level. And look, we're talking about developing meaningful friendships today. We're just doing it in detail. Is this good or what? And so, look, I want to give a shout out to everybody that's watching on my public page, Kalila Alokinola, on my Facebook profile page. Y'all, Facebook gave me a blue check. Hey! You're also watching on YouTube, and we are on Periscope today for the first time. I am excited to be sharing this, and we're talking about friends. We're talking about cultivating meaningful relationships. And so I'm not going to recap. I'm going to walk you down because this is a construction process. And so we talked about defining our foundation, right? And first, not even defining our foundation, we're looking at the levels that we want to build in our friendship. And then once we classify them, we prepare for the foundation and the framework of the friendship that we are trying to build. And part of that construction process and that framework is communicating, cultivating, and connection. But after you do that, there has to be a finish. Somebody say there has to be a finish. It has to be a finish. Somebody write that. There has to be a finish. There has to be a finish. How do you find the finish, in the relationships? Look, there's a couple types of friendships that's out there. And we talked about them in the beginning. Friendships, friends with, we talked about friends that are just actual honest friends. We talked about friends with benefits, and we talked about friends of you. We're going to talk about friends of you utility. That means it's transactional. We cool because it's transactional, and so you classify them. You classify them in the place that you need them to be, but there has to be a finish. Are y'all writing this a finish? Let me see. There has to be a finish. Come on, it has to be a finish. It has to be a finish. That's right. It has to be a finish, right? Once you understand the levels that you want to build for your friendship, you build the foundation, you build the framework. It has to flow, and then there comes a finish. And so what does the finish look like? The finish looks like their classification. It's the definition of who they are. It's that you've cultivated them, you've communicated what you want, right? You've cultivated the relationship, right? And now you're classifying them. You're making an announcement that this is who they are in your life. And you don't do that out loud with your mouth. You do that by your action. Some things can only be done by action. This is who they are. And what that means is that you begin to release things into this mutual relationship that you're building with this individual that confirms their classification. So somebody say, my finish has to be confirmed. My finish has to be confirmed. My finish has to be confirmed. And Erica, you're right. That's why I didn't say anything when she was talking this morning. I was just like, God, confirm it. Because even this morning, I wasn't sure if God was like, speak on this. I was like, God, confirm it. And Shaniqua, you confirmed it for me this morning, right? And so there has to be a finish, but the finish has to be confirmed. That means that there's a divine exchange that takes place in the relationship that confirms it. I'm going to show you while I'm telling the truth. And y'all are going to say, oh my goodness, y'all might run. The finish has to be confirmed. If I come to you, Shaniqua or Angela or Erica, and I say to you, hey sis, I went through this private situation in my life and I really needed somebody to talk to. I wanted to share it with you, and I'm sharing it with you because of who you are to me. Immediately, what happens in your spirit, what happens in your mind is that you see a door just open for you to come in and to begin to cultivate a relationship that we may have started with each other, and then the influence of us influencing each other builds a level of trust. And so the finish is confirmed by my actions, by what I say and what I do. If I take something from me and release it into you, and I'm asking you for your influence on the situation, I just confirmed my finish. Hey, God, that's so good. I feel like preaching. And this is Coffee and Community Conversation. I just confirmed my finish. I confirmed my finish, not just by how I communicated, but how I conveyed it, right? But the action that came attached to it. I'm asking you to influence me. I'm asking you for insight and instruction on a situation where I didn't have the autonomy to understand by myself. And so I brought you into my inner circle where only my crew dwells, and I release something private and privy in you, a treasure of mine, because I exposed my treasure chest, and I'm asking you to influence, because friendships is not just about praying and playing. Friendships is about influence. There's a substance that's released from me inside of you that's going to help determine the decisions that you make because you trust me. And so I just confirmed the finish by asking you to influence me in the situation that was frustrating me. Wow. Is this good? Is this good? Is this good? Man. So let's wind down. Right. There has to be, that's right. My finish has to be confirmed. What they see on the outside has to be, watch this. Construction site, right? So the picture they see on the outside is what the builders are building on the inside. So my finish has to be confirmed. What they see shouldn't just be outside, it should be also inwardly. Oh my goodness. This is good. This is good right now. This is so good. This is so good. So good. So let's wind it down. Guys, take interest in others, right? Be genuine about it. We're givers and not takers when we're cultivating friendships. We're loyal. Whether we're looking for people to lean in and learn from, people to help lead you, or people to laugh with, we're loyal to the level that we put you on. We are positive because we're posturing ourselves for this plan that God is positioning us in for people. Right? So you become intentional with the relationships that you built. There's dynamics associated with it. Remember, they're not bringing just stuff. They're bringing influence. They always say, you are a version of the people that you spend the most time with. So what influence are you looking for in your life? Who do you want to cultivate yourself to become? Because doctors don't hang with pimps unless there's a divine transaction, unless there's not even divine, unless there's a exchange. Something's happening, right? You hang around people and they influence what you say. They influence what you do. They influence what you eat. They influence how you dress. You ever went out with a group of girlfriends and you ask, hey girl, what you wearing? And everybody's wearing a little black dress. So you go through your closet going crazy looking for a little black dress, even though you're not that comfortable in the little black dress, because they influenced. They influenced you. They influenced you. We build on common interests. What ties us together? Watch this. And what could break us apart? Woo! Common interests. I'm not just looking for what can cultivate, right? But what can cause conflict? because those are things that we have to identify. I said it, keep it 100. And those things in our life will help us develop meaningful friendships, develop the right people. Because look, building friendships take time. It's not something that just happens with the snap of a finger. You know, even in relationships with partners, it takes time to get to know someone. And the same things happen in a friendship, whether you're circle, corner, side, crew, or cloud, right? It takes time to cultivate those relationships. You're beginning again. You're opening up trust. They're getting to know the you that other people may not know. And you confirm the finish. It has to be a confirmation. Something has to take place so that you understand where this person is in your life. If you're trusting and you're leaning in on people and you're pouring out your secrets and you're telling them everything that's happening with you and they just don't see that into it, you have to reclassify the level that they're on. I just said something. Don't get mad. I'm just a messenger. If you are pouring out your heart to someone and you're telling them all your secrets and everything that you experience, and they just nod their head every time, you need to reclassify the level that they're on. You have to reclassify the level that they're on. Is this good? Is this good? And so, guys, look, to today in wrapping, and if you're just joining, I'm PKO. This is Coffee and Community Conversations, where we talk about the things that matters, you know, and then we come up with plans to address the things that we discuss that matters. And so we're talking about meaningful friendships in our life. We're all at a time right now with COVID-19 amid pandemic and protests, where we are looking for people that we can lean into and lean on. And it's during times like this where we realize the levels that people are on in our life, right? Are you in my circle, my cloud? Are you on my side, right? Are you part of my crew? Are you in my cloud? Who are you? And I can begin to identify it so that I don't set myself for the wrong expectation and experience with you in my life. And if I want more, I can cultivate it. But understanding there has to be a foundation, a framework, a flow, and a finish, even in something as simple as a meaningful relationship. Oh man, this was good. This was good. Drop some questions. Christy said, no, baby, you can only take out 60 in your wallet. I got, okay. All right. I don't think she meant that for us. Sorry, Christy. Oh my goodness gracious, have mercy. So look, any comments, any questions, any concerns, anybody? Something's happening here. You guys are still here. Okay. This is good. This is good. This is good. I'm going over here because I can't see the comments dropping down. And so I am going to go on social media really quick, guys, to see your comments. And I'm going to turn off my sound here. Yeah, see my comments. Okay, maybe it'll work now. Okay. It's not. Well, look, we're going to keep going because we're fired up. This was a great message. I'm going to switch to Facebook really quick to see if you guys have any questions for me before I go. But look, we're cultivating the right friendships in our life. What are friendships? What are friendships? Friendships are a person whom one knows and with whom one has a bond of mutual affection, typically exclusive of sexual or family relations, right? These are people that you're not blood connected with, but they are friends that will eventually become family. Family. If you're in my crew, we're family. That means that, you know, like we are connected. We are together. We are relational. We are cultivating what we have, and we are pursuing those things that's inside of both of us. I can lean on you and you can lean on me because we both want each other to do better and to be better. Was this good? Was this good? And so look, thank you so much for joining me today. Y'all shifted the atmosphere this morning. Thank you so much. Thank you, King Ziggy. I just saw what you wrote. Thank you. This was a needed conversation. Thank you, Mama Darlene. Thank you. Who are friendships? What are friendships? That's right. Like, what are friendships, right? And right now during COVID-19, I see a lot of people that have leaned in, some people that have experienced some loss, right? And then you realize that you are alone. You realize that you are by yourself when you thought that you had a circle surrounding you, right? And so now I want to encourage you to look at the levels of that you have people on in your life so that you don't set yourself up for expectation. Watch this, or for execution. That means that somebody can kill you, right? Because you tried to cultivate something and they were not in the same place that you are. Some people that you have in your life will try to kill what you're trying to cultivate, right? And they won't communicate it by mouth, but they'll communicate it by what they do. And so you don't have to play that game with folks anymore. You can classify them for what level they're on, and you can leave them there. Somebody say, I need to leave them on the level that they're on. Mm-hmm. Why is it important to have the right friends in your life? Well, Shaniqua, I think it's important to have the right friends in your life, right? Because you look for communication, cultivation, and connectivity, right? As humans, we look for people that can sharpen iron. If we go back to the definitions, we look for our circle, people that can pray with us, right? We look for corners, people that can support us, right? People that we can weep with, and war with, even if I'm wrong, I need you to say something to me so that I would keep going. And we need people who, when we are discouraged, they're going to tell us to keep going, right? It's in our nature as human beings to have someone to scream push, right? Mary and Martha, right? We always see people. Jesus had the disciples that went out with him. People have people, right? So it's important to cultivate the right friendships in your life, because you become a reflection of the people that you surround yourself with. You become a reflection, right, of the people that you keep close to you. It's important that you have the right friends in your life, because your friends can help propel you into purpose, or they can posture you to stay in a place of pain. That's right. I need to leave them on the level that they're on. Yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah, guys. So look, this was good. So let's recap. We're talking about cultivating friendships, and I want you guys to find the right friends. Leave them on the level that they're on. And if you desire more, cultivate it, right? Test the spirit by the spirit. Make sure they need to be on that level. Because remember, with your foundation, your framework, your flow, there has to be confirmation in the finish. It has to reflect the picture that you see on the outside, has to be reflected also on the inside. This was so good. Look, I want to thank you guys for joining me today. I want to thank Sonora Davis for my Humble Warrior Cup. I want to shout out all the alumni for the Redesigning the Blueprint Masterclass, right? I want to shout them out for blessing me this morning, and the gifts that, the gifts that are behind me, my t-shirt, my signs, my candles, my coffee. I just want to thank you guys, not for the tangible things, but for the touch that you gave me this morning. And this is what I call friendships. When I can pray with you, I can play with you. I can weep when I'm wounded. And when my back is against the wall, they remind me that they are pushing me to keep going. These women are in my crew. I want to encourage you to find people that you can roll with, people that you can war with, people you can weep with, people when you're wounded, they're going to push you, and people in your life that's going to tell you to keep going. They're not going to cast doubt on who you are or what you do. They're going to be honest. They're going to be truthful. They're going to make sure that there's tenacity, right? Being turned up on the inside of you. They're going to make sure your faith is rising. They're going to make sure that your fight and fortitude is restored, even if you feel wobbly in the knees. Find your friends, find the people in your life, and classify them on the level that they need to be on, and just lean in. Just lean in. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today for Coffee and Community Conversation. My name is PKO. If you are cool, then you call me PK or KO, right? If you're not, PKO is good. It's Pastor Kalila Olokinola. We are here every Saturday at 10 a.m. talking about coffee and community conversations. We discuss, topics that matters, and come up with plans to address the topics that we discuss that matters. I also am live on Monday at 8 p.m. for Brave Lessons. On Brave Lessons, I'm preaching. I'm releasing the word that God has put on the inside of me, and I want you to click your notifications to show up. And look, if you have not done it yet, I want you to go to www.redesigningtheblueprint.com, and I want you to go ahead and download the reservation for the ebook Breakthrough Blueprints by these 11 powerful women. It'll be live today on outlets like Amazon and Barnes and Nobles. They'll also be presenting a masterclass that's coming up this afternoon at 3 p.m. There's no cost to attend. You can also go to the breakthroughblueprints.com and register. You don't have have to say anything. You just got to show up. And if you show up, we're going to do the rest. Again, join me on Mondays for Brave Lessons, right? And look, if you need a word of encouragement, if you need to keep going, if you have more questions, I want you to feel free to inbox me and to ask. My name is Pastor Kalila Olakanola, PKO, and it is an honor for me to be here and to be able to talk to you today. An honor to share what is on the inside of me with you, and an honor to encourage you to keep going. And so be encouraged, be brave, be empowered to be powerful, and don't forget to drink your coffee and have meaningful conversations in the process. Have an amazing Saturday, guys. Bye.
And so today's community conversation was just not about how you transition, into phase 2 for COVID-19, but understanding that whether it's good or bad, whether you say yes or no, whether you go or you stay still, it causes a ripple effect in your life.